Welcome back. Welcome back. I got a good topic. I want to talk about why there's no choice, no chooser, and no you. Okay? And before I go into, and I also, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of a clip from a Rupert Spira conversation that he had that I found yesterday. But and I'll share my thoughts in relationship to it. But before we start, I'm going to share a little story about what happened at Thanksgiving. And like any great Thanksgiving gathering, family gathering, interesting topics were brought up to discuss. And there weren't many that day until I looked at my sister and my brother-in-law, and I said, are you guys aware that you guys don't have any ability to choose anything? And they both looked at me perplexed, and they were like, what are you talking about? I mean, and I say random stuff from time to time. I've always been a bit of a space cadet, and I will say random things just to get, some interesting conversation going. But in this case, I was actually serious to see what they thought, or if they were able to be aware. I said, if you pay close enough attention, and anybody can, and you could right now watching this, if you pay close enough attention to what's occurring within your body, within yourself, you can see that there's no ability to choose anything or to really make any decisions. That you'll see that everything is arising spontaneously, that it's all just happening. And I don't know what it takes to do this, because I don't think it can happen in conversation. I don't think it can happen while you're listening to me talk. I don't think it's an insight that you can become aware of or realize for yourself until a little bit of practice has occurred and the mind has gotten used to not slowing down, but whatever it is that arises in the form of attention in you. When that attention is able to pay attention enough, I guess. I don't know. Like if you can watch, if you can slow your breathing, if you can get into a space where your thoughts don't immediately distract you from the present moment, you can see very clearly for yourself that thoughts are arising on their own. The thing that's making decisions in your own head or in your own body, your gut or your heart, is occurring on its own. Anyway, I can go into that later if anybody's interested in like a deep kind of like guided meditation into it. But I was sharing that with my sister and my brother-in-law. And then I said that there's no ability for either of you to do anything other than what you're currently doing right now. And that is the truth. Even for you listening or for you watching, there's no ability. You can't do anything other than what you're currently doing. Now, if you watch a thought occur or an impulse that says, fuck that guy, I could do what I want, whatever, I do what I want. Did you choose that? Then you can ask yourself that question. Did I choose that thought? Did I choose this antimatter that's arising in relationship to this statement? Am I some robotic man? No, I can stand up right now. No, I can turn him off. No, I can pick up my phone. Where's that coming from? So if you can pay close enough attention, you'll see that it's all occurring on its own without consent, without your consent, without my consent, without consent. And I was attempting to explain this to my sister and my brother-in-law, and they just didn't agree. They're like, I don't agree at all. I can't see it. We don't see it. We disagree. And, I can't really quite remember what the rebuttal was. I saw this video, this Rupert Spira video yesterday, and I wanted to send it to my sister and be like, hey, just listen. She has this girl that's asking this question, she's asking the question that you're kind of asking. And I kind of suck because I'm just telling you, listen, if you just pay attention, like just slow down, like watch what's happening, I'm not great at guiding someone through that. I don't think I am, at least. But Rupert did a great job, and I was going to send it to her. But since I knew that, it's pointless. By the way, if you're into this type of stuff, if you're into this heady spirituality, mindfulness, awareness, Zen, Tao, if you're into this type of self-examination and self-discovery, chances are nobody else gives a shit. That you're the only one. That nobody else. Melissa doesn't give a shit. Eli doesn't give a shit. Sid, my dad, kind of gives a shit, but doesn't really give a shit. He pretends to he cares about me, I think, and then he pretends to care about this type of stuff. But people that you encounter on a date, nobody wants to be woken up. Like, you don't wake someone up if they're sleeping. It's rude. But I wanted to have fun with my sister and my brother-in-law, and I wanted to share this video, but I couldn't share it with her because she doesn't give a shit. She's busy being a mom and having kids. It doesn't matter. But for you, for us, I think this could be fun to look at. So let's go into it. I'm going to go ahead and lower my screen here, and we'll watch it together. And I'll pause it if I have thoughts that come up. I watched a great video this morning and last night, Sam Harris and Spira discussing, Spira's coming from a space of experience, like only what we know is what we know. And there's no such thing as matter. Matter is a theory. And then Sam's coming from a space of, matter, there are things, like matter is definitely a thing. It was just interesting to hear them go back and forth on their perspectives. Spira takes the leap from experience into collective consciousness, that this awareness is enveloping all of us at all times. And then Sam's more of like, it's kind of contained within your own body mind system, that you can't actually say that it's beyond your current body mind system, that there's anything, you can't say that there's not anything else. Like, you can't say there's nothing else. You can't say that this is all we know. You have to admit that there's things you're unable to know. I don't know. We're not watching that one. We're watching this one. This one is just a random video I found. He does these lectures, these talks where he sits there comfortably in the upright chair with a flower next to him. It's really nice looking. He's usually got a good cardigan on, and sometimes he has a beard, sometimes he doesn't have a beard, and he's just genuinely pleasant and present and enjoyable to listen to and watch. And in this video, it just starts off right away just with question and answer. So I'm going to take a sip and we'll go into it, and I'll share my thoughts as it happens.
I'm having trouble reconciling the notion of free will with the way you describe thought, which I'm going back to the conversation you had with Angela a few days back when she was talking about feeling like there was a controller and a director kind of entity. And at some point in that conversation you said that we don't control our thoughts, they're simply things that arise in our awareness. I'm having trouble because it seems like sort of the decision to come to a retreat or to follow our thoughts inward instead of out to objects, our thoughts themselves, and they seem to be kind of decisional.
Yes.
It has such a quality of a decision making, and I just don't see how it seems like the enlightened duality you speak of is like awareness, and then just thoughts that we don't have much control over. I wonder how we manage to direct our lives with that view.
So when you say we don't have much control over our thoughts, where is the we, the I in the system? So now your experience is thoughts, images, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. Mm-hmm. Yeah? And you are aware of all of those. Now, where is the I in your experience that is orchestrating all of those?
I can't localize one.
Okay. Can you even find an unlocal one?
There it is. No.
I mean, take a thought. You're because you mentioned the decision to come on a retreat, for instance. Yeah. You come home from work, you cook dinner, you sit down and the thought appears to you, oh, I wonder if Rupert's got a retreat on. Just out of the blue it appears to you. Did you choose that thought? Was there someone or something in the system that selected to have that thought rather than let's watch a movie?
No, yeah, when you break it down to individual thoughts.
Yeah. Okay,
no.
so then the thought, I wonder if there's a retreat on soon, appears to you. Now, the next thought could be, let's say just give it two possibilities. The next thought could be, oh, let's go and have a look. Let's check Rupert's website out. Or the next thought could be, oh, I'll look later, let's watch a movie. Now, do you have any control over which of those two thoughts appears?
It feels like I'm controlling them.
Perfect. Now, in between the two thoughts, the first thought after dinner was, I wonder if there's a retreat on. Yeah? The second thought, the next thought, it's slightly simplistic, this picture, but you understand. The second thought was, oh, I'll look later, let's watch a movie, or I'll go and check it out now. So you're suggesting that in between those two thoughts, something was present which chose the second thought. What was that? What is your experience of this something, the chooser, between the appearance of those two thoughts, which controlled which the second thought was?
I don't have an experience of a chooser in between thoughts. It just seems that a series of thoughts, in retrospect, you can look at them and they seem to go in a direction, like you can decide to ponder something.
Exactly. In retrospect, we look at the succession of thoughts, and a thought, which is just thought number 10, looks back and imagines that there is a chooser in the system between each thought. That chooser is just thought number 10.
Yeah.
It's not actually there in between each of the thoughts.
The notion of a chooser is a thought.
No, what I mean is the chooser itself is not there in between each thought, choosing each time between a range of possibilities, and I'll have that thought next, and then I'll have this thought. That chooser is not there. The notion of a chooser is simply itself a thought, which, as you say, appears retrospectively. The thought says, I was there in between each thought, choosing it. It's the clown that takes the bow. It wasn't actually present, but it claims responsibility afterwards.
I see.
So we have to make a...
So I'll stop it here for a second. So this is you kind of have to if you extrapolate that, then you have to ask yourself the question, well, then if the chooser is just a thought, then who am I? Who am I? What am I? And if you follow that line of thought and you keep examining and you keep asking and you keep seeing and you keep watching, you'll think that maybe, I'm the watcher. That's who I am. I'm the one that's seeing and watching. But what is experience? Am I experience itself? Am I witnessing? Anyway, it could go on forever until you drop out, and then you realize there is no my entire identity, the entire character that plays in the world. Like, I've got a meeting in 3 minutes where I'm going to be having a meeting with people that I work with, I'm going to be a person in that meeting. I'm a person right now. I'm a YouTube guy talking to you. But these are all characters or forms that are arising in relationship to the world. And so what I'd like to talk about in the next video, if I can get there, is I want to talk about the how there's no such thing as non-duality and there's no such thing as duality, that both of those things have to coexist. That Rupert sits on the chair and comes from a space of specifically non-duality. Everything is, you know, being. All beingness is it's like, which is true. Everything, the base sense of who or what I am and what you are is a base acknowledgement of a shared unity of being, which is all manifestation. It has the shared unity of being. It is true, but it's also true that I have my own thoughts and my own feelings, and my ability to recognize that is a dual. The ability to perceive that is duality. So both of those things have to exist simultaneously. I know I'm probably jumping way ahead of what we were talking about in this video. Just to reiterate, you're not a person. You think you're a person. You can't choose. By the way, that's where freedom comes from. The awareness that there is no choice creates a sense of freedom, because the freedom is the ultimate. Freedom is existing and living in ultimate reality, which is the ultimate unknowing of manifestation and being. So you never actually know what the heck's going to happen. So every moment's like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And there's no real boredom there. There's just woeness is what I'll call it. But I'll dig a little bit more into that. We've gone a little bit long for this video. If you liked it, like it. If you want to subscribe. I want to do more of these. I want to do some more of these talks, and I'd like to continue on. So thanks for joining, and please post in the comments if you have any experience or any insight into any of this stuff. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I hope you stay excellent.